Zambrano. Scott Pasednik had a big day yesterday, the suicide squeeze to add some insurance. Ramirez with a game-winning home run in the very first inning. Dye, Konerko, Przynski, the veterans in the middle of the lineup. Brian Anderson's in center. Getz and Beckham, the two rookies, on the infield, and Gavin Floyd, the pitcher, will hit ninth.
And let's check out the defense for the Cubs today, brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Soriano, Fukudome, and Bradley across the outfield this afternoon. Fontenot, Ontario on the left side. Andres Blanco getting a start at second base. Derek Lee over at first. Giovanni Soto behind the dish today for right-hander Carlos Zambrano. Talk about what a great role the Big Z's been on the last couple of starts against the Cincinnati Reds, Houston Astros. He has been outstanding. 14 2/3 innings pitched combined, only 5 hits and 1 earned run.
No extra base hits allowed his last 3 consecutive starts. Bruce Breckman, who's from Iowa, will call the balls and strikes. Emmel, crew chief Darling, and Bill Hahn at third. The lights are on because they're expecting it to get more overcast and we could see some rain. Hopefully it'll hold off until later. But at this point, partner, I think we just expect there'll be rain at some point. This is like Florida all of a sudden. It's going to rain at some point. It's just a matter of when. So it's Zambrano against Pasednik. Carlos winds and deals, and we're underway. Ball 1 to Pasednik. That's a strike. The Cubs are 30 and 31. 4th place in the NL Central. 4.5 back of Milwaukee, although they have some games in hand. Only 2 back in the loss column. The White Sox have won 3 in a row. They're just 3 out in 3rd place in the American League Central. Detroit and Minnesota ahead of them. Rollover grounder to Andres Blanco, 1 out.
Nice sequence there by Big Z. A couple of 4-seam fastballs on the inside part of the plate to get ahead in the count, and then a nasty sinker down low and away from Pasednik. Easy ground ball to second.
71 degrees, the wind out of the east at just 3 miles an hour. Without looking back at every home game in terms of the game time temperature, I don't know how many times we've been in the 70s, but not often. 1-1 to Alexei Ramirez.
When you mentioned that 3-mile-per-hour wind, what little bit of wind it is seems to be blowing in from right center field. I'm sure that will change as this day moves on.
Ramirez homered in the first inning yesterday, just into the basket. That's fair, backhanded by Fontenot, 2 outs.
You love it when Z's getting those ground balls. It tells you he's got his good sinker working. He's throwing the ball around the bottom of the strike zone, enticing the hitters to swing at it, and the best they can hope to do is pound it into the ground. 2 ground ball outs to start the afternoon.
Jermaine Dye yesterday had his 17-game hitting streak in this ballpark snapped. He did walk twice. And he gets a first pitch strike. I'm already sensing more energy in the park today than the entire day yesterday. And certainly a lot of it has to do with the fact the Cubs couldn't get anything going offensively. Bradley's coming over, but that's going to twist out of play. Maybe the hangover effect yesterday after the rain out the night before, but it just feels like there's a little bit more of a buzz in the crowd. And maybe it's because of the guy on the mound. Who knows? I mean, there's always excitement when Carlos Zambrano pitches.
Never a dull moment.
A little tapper back to Z. Fired a fastball over to Derek Lee, and he gets 3 ground ball outs. The Cubs are coming up. Lineup for today's game against the White Sox, brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. The lineup may be refreshed in the next couple of days if it doesn't get it going, as you heard Lou Piniella on the leadoff man, but not too many changes today. The most significant would be at the bottom with Andres Blanco at second, and of course Big Z on the mound.
Take a look at the White Sox defensively. Podsednik in left field, Anderson in center, Dye over in right field. Gordon Beckham had a couple of misplays at third base yesterday. Alexi Ramirez at shortstop. Chris Getz at second. Paul Konerko over at first base. A.J. Pierzynski behind the dish today for right-hander Gavin Floyd.
High ERA, but don't let those numbers fool you. It's been as good as just about any starter in baseball his last 5 times out. A 1.67 earned run average. He's gone 8 innings 3 times during this stretch. He's badly on the first one, gets a swing and a miss on the second pitch. Floyd 6'5", 230, 26 years old, and Alfonso Soriano was really the focus of this offense in a positive direction to start the season. All kinds of home runs. Remember how he started the season with a leadoff homer in Houston, but it's been a big topic of conversation around town lately, and it's because he has struggled so mightily, and this is the biggest slump we've seen from him as a Cub. Podsednik's coming over, reaches out, makes the grab on the move for the first out.
Floyd got away with one right there. That was a slider that he was trying to throw on the outside corner and lead Soriano out of the strike zone. He left it right over the heart of the plate. Soriano hit it hard. It was hooking toward that corner, but Podsednik with his speed able to run over there and corral that line drive. Let's see Floyd use a 4-pitch mix. We talk a lot about his curveball because it's a really good curveball, but he's got 4 quality pitches. I mentioned his last outing against Detroit. If you look at the charts, they have a little diagram of a right-handed hitter and a left-handed hitter standing in the box, and it'll show you where each one of his pitches was. Terrio slices one foul down the right field line. All of his fastballs were either up and in or low and away. He made no mistakes in the middle of the plate with his fastball against the Tigers last time out.
Former first-round pick, the 4th overall pick in the 01 draft. He was taken by the Phillies, and the White Sox got him in December of 06 in the Freddie Garcia deal. Freddie Garcia back in the White Sox organization, signed a minor league deal recently. Terrio lifting. Podsednik covers a lot of ground. That's pretty routine for him. So Zambrano getting ground ball outs and Floyd fly ball outs.
Well, very early, but so far coming as advertised. Lou told us before the ball game this figures to be a real good pitching matchup. 2 guys that are on top of their game. And so far through 5 hitters, that's the case.
A little bit outside on a heater to Milton Bradley. 8 hits during a modest 6-game hitting streak. Swing and a miss at that fastball at 92, 1-1. Cubs will stay here this weekend. Kerry Wood, Mark DeRosa, and the Cleveland Indians will be here tomorrow. White Sox will fly to Cincinnati. And the civil rights game coming up this weekend. Bradley is starting to heat up here on this homestand. He's missed a couple in this at bat, 2-2. Full count. Derek Lee, the Cubs' hottest batter, is on deck. Payoff pitch, and he walked him. Of all the potential moves Lou Piniella can make are alterations to the lineup. I think a lot of people are focused on Alfonso Soriano. They'll move him down in the order. Did not today. Could possibly at some point if things don't improve. But Derek Lee has long been the Cubs' number 3 hitter. And in the last month, Bob, he has batted like the number 3 hitter. So it'll be interesting to see if Lou will just leave him in this cleanup spot where he has been hot. And I think if Bradley continues to hit, they'll stay 3-4. But that's one of the other little tweaks. Maybe you could move Derek back to 3. A fly ball. Jermaine Dye is underneath. And he makes the catch. Aramis Ramirez progressing well. Still no specific timetable on when he'll be back, but the Cubs could use him. Second inning. Konerko, Przinsky, and Anderson versus Carlos Zambrano. Slider over for a strike against Konerko. You and I cornered Paul Konerko right before the White Sox took BP, and he did shake our hands, even though he's been bothered by the sore right thumb. But this has been an ongoing thing for Paul Konerko for quite a while.
And for any hitter to have issues with your thumb or your wrist, as you can imagine, he said even when he squares a ball up, when he hits it right off the sweet spot of the barrel, he feels it in that thumb. And definitely when he gets jammed or hits the ball off the end of the bat, it sends shock waves up that right arm. Saw the top hand come off that time. It's the kind of an injury that for an inexperienced player will get you into a lot of bad habits. You know when you get to that certain point of your swing and you make contact, you're going to feel that pain. And for a lot of guys, they get to that point and then alter their swing. But Paul Konerko is a grizzled veteran, and he can handle a lot of pain, and trying to play right through this thumb injury.
American League Championship Series MVP as he strikes out back in 2005.
Another thing when you're battling a thumb problem, you want to make sure not to get jammed, so you start that bat a little quicker than you normally would, and that's when you become wide open to off-speed pitches, whether they be splitters, sliders, or change-ups. From our Southwest Sky Cam, Konerko chasing a bad pitch.
Mixed reaction as always for A.J. Przinsky. I asked Konerko, I said, how do they treat you here? I mean, we know A.J. gets booed. He goes, no, it's good. Feels fairly comfortable here in enemy territory. It is the friendly confines, although that doesn't apply when A.J. gets in the box. but he loves every second of it. At least it appears that way.
Well, then you think back over the history of baseball. I mean, all I have to do is look back to the '89 playoffs, the Chicago Cubs against the San Francisco Giants, and the show that Mark Grace and Will Clark put on. Curt Schilling in any postseason. There are certain guys that seem to rise to the occasion when the crowd is against them the most, when the cameras are on the brightest. That's when they play their best. And love him or hate him, AJ seems to be one of those guys. The more attention focused his direction, it always seems like he comes up with something.
He has struggled behind the plate throwing out base runners, and along those lines with the combination of Floyd and Przinsky, if the Cubs can get some guys on today, we may see them try to run a little bit.
Well, we know that station-to-station baseball is not producing very many runs, so given the fact that Floyd can be slow to the plate with that big breaking ball, and Przinsky's struggling to throw, it would seem to be a recipe for maybe generating some offense today, as you said, if the Cubs get guys on base.
Derek fired to Carlos thinking the ball might have been fair. It was foul, and he threw it pretty hard, and Z barehanded the catch. Kids, don't try that at home.
No.
If you're a right-handed pitcher, you want to catch everything with your left hand. 3-2. A wind in the pitch, a fly ball to right. Bradley circling, now setting and catching.
Hey fans, watch the Cubs take on the Indians tomorrow at 1:20. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs apron, compliments of Promo Works.
Bradley making the catch for the second out. Base hit for Brian Anderson, rolled into left. I have noticed a much more relaxed Milton Bradley just around the clubhouse and the batting cage. And again, that was an embarrassing moment earlier on this homestand, but he also commented after that game about trying to relax and have some fun. And when you do struggle as a team, I mean, you want to be serious about getting out of it, but sometimes you get too tight.
Well, this is their profession, so you expect all these players and coaches and managers to take it very seriously, but they don't have to take themselves seriously.
The 0-1 on the way to Chris Getz. 1 ball, 1 strike. Z has faced the White Sox quite a bit. Gavin Floyd starting against the Cubs today for the first time in his career. This is the 12th appearance and the 10th start for Z. 5-2 with a 4.45. But he hasn't faced the Sox since 2007. Gets into that right field corner. Anderson to third. Jeff Cox, the third base coach, way down the line near the plate. And put on the late stop sign. So Getz with a triple yesterday into that corner. He doubles today. And here comes Gordon Beckham with first base open and 2 outs.
The double down the line yesterday, actually the triple down the line, his bat exploded. This time he hits it off the very end of the bat. It stays in one piece and just does stay fair down that right field line. I think it's interesting, Len, this White Sox lineup. If you look at Podsednik, Dye, Przinsky, and Konerko, between them over 36 years of major league experience. And you look at the other 4 guys in the lineup: Ramirez, Beckham, Getz, and Anderson, and right around 4 years of total experience between them. So, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of grizzled veterans and a lot of wet behind the ears youngsters.
And Beckham said he got hit. Again, that's not the end of the world because the pitcher's coming up. Looked like Beckham hesitated at first. Soto chatting with the home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman. There are some number 8 hitters who would not even act like they got hit because they want to swing the bat in this spot.
He might have hit a thread sticking out off that left sleeve. Didn't get much of him, but it got enough in the eyes of Bruce Dreckman to send him on down to first base.
So Floyd, his first plate appearance this year, 2 for 45 in his career with 25 punch-outs and no walks. But I'll use your line. Anyone at the plate with a bat in their hands is a dangerous hitter, especially with the bases loaded. Zambrano with exactly 100 career wins. Got that milestone victory on the 5th of June at Cincinnati. Only given up 1 earned run this month in 2 starts. Early energy from this huge crowd. Struck him out swinging. They leave him loaded. So 2 hits and a hit batter, but no runs. After an inning and a half, 0-0. From Virgil, Illinois, Mackenzie Zettelmeyer from Crystal Lake. For more info on how you can be a Walgreens celebrity bat kid, go to WGNradio.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
And then got a nice letter from Jill Gentry from Decatur, Illinois. Had a question about the umpires. She wondered if umpires are evaluated the same way players are. And just so happens that first game of this series that was rained out, Marty Springstead, one of the umpire supervisors, was here at Wrigley Field. They are monitored regularly, not only in person, but on videotape to make sure that they're calling the right strike zone and making the right calls. So, yes, indeed, they are evaluated, Jill.
Giovanni Soto leading off the Cubs second. Ball 1. Floyd winding and dealing. A little low, 2-0. Fontenot and then Fukudome, who's hitting 7th, to follow in this inning. Sharply hit ground ball right at Alexei Ramirez, who feathers it across for the out. First ground ball out for Floyd. Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests. for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Roof.
Mike Fontenot's kind of ridden that roller coaster lately. Had a real tough stretch, then got it back without a hit on the homestand until now. His first hit in 12 at bats on this day. Big turnaround first. He'll hold with a single. That's the Cubs' first hit.
Nice swing that time by Fondo. Got a middle of the plate fastball. Might have hit it off the end of the bat just a little bit. That kept the ball from splitting the gap out there in right center. Guy cuts it off and makes a perfect throw back to the infield to hold Fondo to a single.
Kosuke with his first chance in the series. Was not in the lineup yesterday against the left-hander Danks. He has gone 0 for 18 over his last 5 games. Slide step in the pitch. Possible double play, but it's dropped. They don't get any outs. Ramirez could not handle the toss from Getz, who had to hurry after he dropped it.
Well, that looked like a tailor-made double play ball, leading Getz right to the bag at second. Took a bad hop at the very end, got him in the midsection, and then Alexi Ramirez looked like he wanted nothing to do with the sliding Mike Fontenot there at second base, getting out of the way rather than hanging in there and catching that toss from Getz.
So Getz charged with his 4th error of the season, and the Cubs try to take advantage. Andres Blanco at the dish. Beckham in on the grass at third.
Well, then everybody's wondering and talking, what's it going to take for the Cubs to snap out of their offensive slump? And for me, it's just going to take better at bats. We've seen it already in this ball game. A couple of the Cubs hitters working some deep counts. Take that first pitch, get a look at the opposing pitcher, try to put yourself in counts where you can really do some damage as opposed to swinging at the first or second pitch every at bat.
One ball, one strike.
Probably not a good pitch to hack at right there for Andres Blanco. He's ahead in the count 1-0. When you're ahead in the count, you should narrow your strike zone. Be a little more picky as to what you're going to swing at. When you fall behind in the count, you have no choice but to be a little bit more defensive.
New batting coach Von Joshua, who worked with Andres Blanco at AAA Iowa, and many other Cub hitters as well. You see Floyd, he's throwing that sinking fastball. He's trying to get Blanco to hit another ball that Chris Getz on the ground.
We're talking about Von Joshua, one guy that he worked with as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays, Reed Johnson. Von Joshua was the roving minor league hitting instructor when Reed was over with the Toronto Blue Jays, so all kinds of connections.
Off the glove, takes Getz right to second base. How about that? It'll go 1-4 to 3. That one was targeted for center, and the Cubs failed to score.
Third inning. Let's take a look at that last drive off the bat of Andres Blanco. Appeared to be ticketed for center field from our Southwest Sky Cam. I have to believe Gavin Floyd does not get a glove on that ball. It was hit hard enough to get through into center field for a base hit, but a nice reaction play by the White Sox pitcher, able to slow it down enough to turn it into a double play.
The 0-1 to Posednik. Sweeping slider across the zone and out of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sednick among the leaders in the American League among leadoff men in terms of batting average. Came in at .316 in that leadoff spot. Only Ichiro and Sean Figgins got a better average. He's 0 for 2 today. 3rd strikeout for Zambrano.
Looks like Big Z feels like he's got his good fastball today. When he had Gavin Floyd to the plate with the bases loaded to end the 2nd inning, he didn't mess around with any breaking pitches, just reared back and fired heaters. Same thing here to Posednik.
There's that very rare curveball. Missed badly. Sinker is low. 2-0 on Ramirez. Came in hitting .203 against righties, .390 versus lefties. And Bob, he's one guy you don't want to face with the bases loaded. He hit his 5th grand slam. This is only his 2nd season. Back on April 25th. Two and two.
I know this is a huge generalization, and it is very early in Ramirez's career, but he certainly looks like an Alfonso Soriano clone. Same type of swing, same type of holes in his swing. And can do big-time damage if you make mistakes down there at the bottom of the strike zone. He will chase high fastballs. He will chase breaking pitches off the plate away. But if you make mistakes down there around the knees, he can do some damage.
They have been compared in terms of their physical build. Tall and wiry. Excellent athlete. Full count on Ramirez. He's from Cuba. Skip to Blanco. 2 down. Cub fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape for up-to-the-minute stats and info designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game. And it's brought to you by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Foul strike on Jermaine Dye. He's in the hole, 0-2. Jermaine Dye served a 2-game suspension earlier this season for arguing balls and strikes, and then inadvertently hitting home plate umpire Mike DeMuro with his helmet when he bounced it on the ground. 14 years in the majors, just his 3rd ejection in his 1st career suspension. That's a pretty solid track record right there.
He's been a pretty solid major league player for a long time. Very unsung. Doesn't get a lot of recognition outside of his hometown, but you talk to pitchers around the American League that have to face Jermaine Dye on a regular basis, and they'll tell you what a special hitter he is.
MVP of the World Series in 05. He won a Gold Glove in 2000 with the Royals. Silver Slugger Award in 06 and an All-Star twice. Could be the final year with the White Sox for Dye. From 05 to 08, most homers and RBIs among all American League outfielders. 1-2 pitch. And he popped it up. Soto calling off Fontenot, and that's the inning. They go down 1-2-3 for the second time in the first 3 innings. Still scoreless. With us, a crosstown series, rain shortened. So the Cubs trying to avoid the 2-game sweep. A strike on Zambrano from Floyd. Bottom 3-0. Next time these teams will meet a week from tomorrow on the south side. Swing and a miss, 0-2. He tweaked his back on that swing. And he foul tips for strike 3.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you by Bud Light Lime. The drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime.
Soriano lined to left his first time. Swung and missed a slider. In terms of what Lou thinks Soriano needs to do, right field, right field, right field. Ramirez ranging to his left, and a high throw, but Konerko came down on the bag in time. And Lou also added, Bob, that he would say that to any batter. Use the whole field, but he thinks Soriano, when he hits the ball the other way, good things tend to happen. And he's pulled both balls today.
Yeah, mechanically you tend to stay in better shape if you think about driving the ball toward right center field as a right-handed hitter. Front hip stays in a little bit longer. The front shoulder stays in a little bit longer. You tend to keep your head on the ball a little bit longer.
Well, it dropped by Getz, but playing second base, he had some extra time, and Floyd breezes through the third. 0-0 from Wrigley. No score. We get into the fourth inning. There's 3 hits combined. Both starters on their game today. As Paul Konerko is going to make a quick out. Treat your top clients, employees, or family to an all-inclusive experience in the Bud Light Batter's Eye. Your guests will enjoy Wrigley Field luxury and never have to open their wallets while enjoying unlimited food and beverages, reserved seating, private restrooms, and a breathtaking view of the friendly confines for only $165 per ticket. For more information, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-CUBS. There it is, the Bud Light Batter's Eye. A lot of people are waving right now, but the good thing is you do have the privacy. And the reason is that's the Batter's Eye.
It's like those tinted windows on your luxury automobile that you drive to the ballpark in every day.
Oh, did I ride to the ballpark? Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, look at them all waving. Hey, no reason for that, young man. Put your hand down.
Never been in a police lineup, but now I kind of feel like I have. But yeah, the idea there is that the batter has a dark background, generally dark green, sometimes dark blue, to help them see the pitches coming in as Pierzynski rounds out to Fontenot. And what I have heard over the years is that one of the worst places to hit in terms of the batter's eye was at Dodger Stadium during day games, particularly against lefties. Did you experience that at all, or was it okay when you were a Giant?
I've had a lot of problems with the Dodger lefties at night, at Candlestick.
It was more about the pitchers,
yeah,
right?
It didn't matter where you faced
when
them.
Fernando was on the mound.
Yeah.
But Koufax before that.
Yeah, there were some ballparks, old Qualcomm or Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, for those 5 o'clock starts in the postseason. The reflection off the facing of the second deck was just blinding to the hitters.
Well, there was a time way back when it wasn't that long ago, there were bleachers where the batter's eye is now, and those were painted dark green, and fans were not allowed to sit in that area. But if you go back to, I'd have to ask Ed Hardig, but I want to say 20s, 30s, 40s, there were times when fans did sit in those seats. And if they wore white shirts, the batter would have had a very tough time seeing the ball. And remember, they were all day games at that time. That would have been brutal.
If you really want to parlay that into a home field advantage, you give everybody in that section a reversible shirt, dark green on one side, white on the other, and you change every half inning.
3-2 on Anderson. He singled in the second, followed by the Chris Getz double, the first extra base hit allowed by Zambrano in his last 4 starts.
Well, I'll tell you, Big Z is just beating these White Sox hitters to the strike zone with that fastball. He hasn't been behind in the count very often, but when he has found himself in a fastball count, he just rears back and gets that ball into the strike zone before the hitters can get the bat around.
And with a slider on the 3-2, and that's his first walk of the day. Z working on a full week of rest in between starts. Runner goes, called strike, and the throw is on time. Soto nailing Brian Anderson to end the inning. Bottom 4, 0-0.
Milton Bradley, through games of May 6th, had not done much offensively. 2 home runs, only 2 RBIs coming on those home runs. But since May 6th, 30 ball games, a .286 average, 3 homers, 14 RBIs. The numbers are definitely picking up. That's today's Toyota moving forward, thanks to Toyota.
3 swings and misses for Bradley. He did walk in the first inning against Floyd. The 0-1 pitch. And that one served into left, and now a 7-game hitting streak for Milton. Leadoff man is on for the first time.
We're talking about hitting that ball to the opposite field. It works for left-handed hitters as well. That time Floyd tried to sink a fastball down low and away from Milton Bradley, just stayed with it, flipped it out there into left field for a leadoff single.
Bradley has not attempted a stolen base this year. Has been bothered by some leg injuries. Derek Lee has not attempted a steal. Slide step, ground ball. Beckham gets one, gets the other. And it's a double play. 5-4-3. That's only the second time this year Derek has grounded into a double play. It happened a lot last year, but not too much this season.
That third baseman loves the ground ball hit to his left in a double play situation. It leads him right into that throw to second base. All his momentum is going that direction. Usually make a much more accurate throw on that ground ball hit to your left than a ball hit straight at you or toward the line.
One strike pitch, called strike 2 on Soto. Floyd painting in the first 2 pitches in the sequence. Floyd threw 6 pitches, all strikes in the last inning. Trying to work another quick inning here in the 4th. Here he comes. Knocked down by Przinski. Ball 2, 2-2. AJ couldn't handle it, so it's a foul ball. Count holding at 2 apiece. Cubs' next opponent, the Indians, are off today after getting swept by the Milwaukee Brewers. They gave up 30 runs in that 3-game series. Ball 4, he walked him. Good comeback by Soto. He was down early, 0-2. Bench coach Joey Cora positioning the infielders. How about the matchup tomorrow? Cliff Lee and Rich Harden.
Cliff Lee, a left-hander. Chance we might see Reed Johnson in there tomorrow, depending on what happens with the offense the rest of the way today. Possibly Jake Fox finding his way into the lineup tomorrow against the lefty. Lou is searching.
Tomooka against Ted Lilly on Saturday. We'll have it for you straight up noon here on WGN Sports. Carl Pavano was supposed to start that game, but he has some shoulder soreness. He's saying it's not serious, so just moving him back a few days. And then lefty Jeremy Sowers and right-hander Randy Wells on Sunday to wrap up the homestand. Soto takes off. They were not holding him on, and he's safe. He got in. How about that? They give it to you, take it. That's his first steal.
Well, I put that one on Gavin Floyd. If you're going to play behind a runner over there at first base, you have to alter your delivery to home plate and don't give that runner an opportunity to get a jump and steal a base from our Southwest Sky Cam. Better save that tape. Giovanni Soto stealing a base.
First stolen base of his career. He's now 1 for 2. He was caught once last season. A 1-2 to Fontenot. Tried the backdoor breaker, couldn't get it. 2-2. Fouled that one off his back foot. With a 2-out RBI chance with Soto at second base. And the pitch to Fontenot outside. It's 3-2 with Fukudome on deck.
White Sox outfield arms, but Sednick left a weak throwing arm. He does charge the ball pretty hard. Brian Anderson, an average arm in center field, usually pretty accurate. Jermaine Dye has the best arm by far of the White Sox outfielders out there in right field. The way the Cubs have been struggling to score runs and where we're at in the batting order, I have to believe that just about any base hit to the outfield, we're going to see Giovanni Soto sent home.
Might as well try it. There's a payoff pitch. Ball 4. Didn't miss by a lot. And the Cubs with 2 on for Kosuke. If you've never been to Wrigley Field or been 1,000 times, a guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25. A portion of the proceeds benefit Cubs designated charities. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Outside corner strike on Fukudome. Average down to 264. Still a very healthy on base percentage in the 390s. Well, he's now just 3 for his last 37. The pitch. Ground ball. And a diving stop. Throw to second. Got him. What a play by Chris Getz. The Cubs can't buy a run. White Sox with a couple of huge defensive plays. The knockdown earlier in the game by Floyd. And how about that beauty by Getz? Andres Blanco throws out Chris Getz. Getz with the defensive play of the game to this point, saving a run and getting that big third out to end the Cubs' threat in the fourth. Beckham was nicked by a pitch in the second in his first plate appearance. That's a strike. Foul pop into the seats. Beckham brought up from the minors on June 4th. At .326 in 45 games between AA and AAA to start the season, with 23 doubles. The wind has shifted and it feels a little cooler right now. Wind is blowing right to left and a lot harder than when we started. Thought we might get some rain. The lights have been on throughout. We're hoping that the whatever the front, whatever it is, the system is going to miss us. We won't miss it, however.
You'd have to believe that at this point, with the wind blowing the way it is, right field is pretty much dead right now. You would have to really crush a line drive to get it out of here to right field, but might be able to get some cheapies to the left.
Beckham rolling one into right. It's the fifth inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Floyd squaring the bunt, and he pops it foul out of play. I was listening to Don Cooper, the White Sox pitching coach, on the radio this morning, and he's been very pleased with what his pitching staff has been able to contribute at the plate in interleague play. John Danks with a sac bunt yesterday, and Floyd gets it done today. Well, we have a moment. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Boy, these become huge, potentially pivotal moments in tight games like this. And the Cubs offense still struggling to get anything going. 0-0 tie in the fifth, and the White Sox with a 2-out opportunity. Beckham at second, and Pasetnik, a singles hitter at the plate.
I've said it many times in the past, Len, when you have two pitchers on top of their game like we have here in Floyd and Zambrano today, the game usually hinges on some kind of a mistake. Whether it's a physical mistake, an error on defense, a mental mistake, throwing to the wrong base, trying to stretch it double into a triple. Usually the game will hinge on some kind of a mistake that the other team can take advantage of and swing the ball game. Because it doesn't look like either pitcher is going to give up much today.
A flare center field, but it's going to hold up for Fukudome and get Zambrano out of the fifth inning. Bottom five, 8-9-1 for the Cubs coming up.
With special guest Humphreys McGee will be playing the Alpine Valley Music Theater July 18th and 19th, brought to you by Bud Light. Tickets are available exclusively at livenation.com. That's the Dave Matthews Band with special guest Humphreys McGee July 18th and 19th, brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
Andres Blanco leading off the Cubs fifth. Zambrano and Soriano behind him. Tried to bunt his way on and fouled it off. Talked about Gavin Floyd and a very good stretch. The Cubs have made a lot of starting pitchers against them look even better here lately. The Cubs offense is sick of tipping its collective cap to the opposition. Pops up the bunt attempt, and AJ won't get it. He had trouble navigating around Bruce Dreckman.
Not so sure he would have been able to get back there and make a play anyway. The ball wasn't bunted that high in the air, but you'll clearly see AJ turns around, and that's either a blocking or a charging. I'm not sure, but the ball drops harmlessly on the warning track behind home plate.
Don Cooper, pitching coach, looking on. John Danks got the win yesterday to improve to 5-5. Ground ball to Getz. Z tried to hit one 900 feet his first time up. He may do that again, and to be honest, I don't blame him.
Well, there's an old cliche in this game. If you're a pitcher and you throw a shutout and hit a home run, you can't lose. I think that's the theory Carlos is operating under here today.
Well, he is effortless, isn't he, in batting practice? Hitting balls into the bleachers. And when he really cranks it up, he can put them in the bleachers above the batter's eye.
And from foul line to foul line, especially as a left-handed hitter.
Whenever the offense struggles, Lou gets asked, generally by Gordon Whitmire, who admits that he asks a lot. Cubs beat writer, and he said, what would you think about Carlos moving up in the order? And Lou's answer all along has been no, that he has not considered moving the pitcher up in the lineup. Chased a bad one. AJ will apply the tag. And 2 down. There's no better place for Cub fans to hold an event than Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse in Chicago, Rosemont, or Lombard, or Harry Carey's Tavern right here in Wrigleyville. Call 773-HOLY COW or visit harrycareys.com to plan your event today. Floyd with 2 strikeouts, both against Zambrano. A 1-1 offering. Popped him up, shallow right. Getz will make the grab, and the Cubs go down quietly once again. No score through 5.
Moon and the stars will follow the car.
Honda dealer and test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. Cubs have now dropped 4 straight to the White Sox, who lead the all-time series 34-33. Big Z has been dealing. Yet again today has allowed just 3 hits. 2-0 on Alexei Ramirez. Inside, 3 balls, no strikes. He has kept the leadoff man from getting on all day to this point. They've only had 1 base runner prior to 2 outs in any inning.
We hope that at bat by Zambrano in the last half inning, when he struck out and was clearly upset with himself, at least outwardly managed to keep it together, but falling behind Ramirez 3-0 to start this inning, he has worked his way back into the count.
The Cubs have now offensively scored just 10 times. That's foul, barely. 10 runs in their last 63 innings. Ouch. Which puts an incredible amount of pressure on the pitching staff. And there's a lot of work to be done for Von Joshua. Fly ball center field. Fukudome makes the catch, 1 out. Guy with 15 home runs on the year, 0 for 2 to start the ball game. Ball 1, a little bit away. It's been a lot better against righties than lefties this year. The White Sox as a team have been a ton better on the road than in the cozy confines of U.S. Cellular Field. That's a gapper for Dye right at the base of the wall. Fukudome will pick it up, and Dye has himself a 1-out double.
That's the hardest hit ball we've seen off the White Sox bat in this game today. Mentioned earlier, Zambrano had been beating these White Sox hitters with his fastball. They've turned it up a notch here this inning. Ramirez pulled a fastball foul down into the Cubs bullpen, and now Dye splits the gap in left center field. Look for Carlos to start going to the slider and the splitter a little more if he feels the White Sox are starting to get on his heater.
Konerko, a strikeout and a ground out. Slider a little bit outside. 4 career homers for Konerko in 24 career at bats versus Z. The pitch caught the inside corner. Konerko didn't like the call. It's 1-1.
Konerko trying to get an explanation from Bruce Dreckman how that pitch got back to the inside corner. Giovanni Soto had set up away. They wanted that slider low and away, and Carlos threw it to the front door and got the call.
Smothered by Gio. Way inside, 3-1. Brzezinski next.
I say don't give in here. Throw him a slider, throw him a splitter. Don't give in and throw a heater down the middle of the plate.
He gets him to pop into right on a breaking ball. Bradley catches it. Dye's going to stay right there.
And Paul Konerko can hit a breaking ball too, but in a 3-1 count, chances are he's looking for Zambrano's best fastball. And anything other than that, you have a chance to get him out in front a little bit. That time he got underneath the ball, popped it harmlessly into right field. And if you lose him, if you miss with that slider and walk him, it sets up a potential inning-ending double play with the slow-footed Brzezinski at the plate.
Lou went out to the mound and spent about 3 seconds out there, and I think it was about walking Brzezinski or pitching to him, and the Cubs are going to give him first base and go after the right-handed hitting Brian Anderson, who is 1 for 1 with a walk today, but came in at 233. AJ at 300.
Well, we talked about Brzezinski earlier in the ball game. He's one of those guys that just seems to always do something to stick a thorn in your side, and why even give him the opportunity? Set up the righty on righty matchup.
So Dye at second, Brzezinski at first, and it's Anderson. The Cubs are not the only team struggling with runners in scoring position. The White Sox are hitting a .152 their last 15 games. But both these teams just looking for one big hit. Zambrano trying to get out of it, flared out into right center. Dye's coming around. Bradley bobbles it. There won't be a play at the plate, and it's 1-0 White Sox. They walked Brzezinski intentionally, and Anderson made him pay. Didn't hit it very hard, but found some space in right center.
Anderson with 2 knocks in the ball game. Just a little soft liner over the head of Andres Blanco into shallow right center field. Bradley with a little bobble out there. They had no play at the plate on Dye anyway.
Their soft liner gets retired by Blanco, and the White Sox strike first for the second straight day. Anderson with the RBI hit. It's 1-0. Sponsored by Comcast. Cubs fans and White Sox fans getting together this week and do the same on the South Side next weekend. Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition is sponsored by Comcast. Got to give Cub fans something to cheer about. Only one run yesterday, and that came late. And the Cubs were already down 4. And they trail 1-0 today. Oh, 2 to Terrio. Base hit. A leadoff single for Ryan Terrio. And on an 0-2 pitch.
Haven't seen the Riot hit many balls to the opposite field since he started hitting home runs. Good to see him on that 0-2 count take that breaking ball and line it into right field.
Wind still blowing from right to left, but it has died down over the last inning or so. Slide step, swing and a miss.
It's called using the whole field, spreading them around about as evenly as you possibly can.
In tight on a heater. Well, how about a home run to straightaway center of a dozen to all fields. Floyd making his Wrigley Field debut today.
And then we talked about the stolen base issues with Pierzynski behind the plate and Floyd on the mound. You see Floyd using that slide step. That's when you tend to start making some mistakes. You're a little worried about that runner. You're unloading the ball quickly to home plate. Sometimes your command is not quite as fine as when you're using your full delivery and able to locate that ball wherever you want. 10 stolen base attempts with Gavin Floyd on the mound against the Sox this year. All 10 have been successful, including Giovanni Soto earlier in the ballgame back in the 4th inning.
1-2 on Bradley. Here's the pitch. Good take inside, 2-2. Well, if you get into a 3-2 situation here, I mean, Floyd's only struck out 2 all day, and both times against Zambrano, so you might see Terrio on the move here before this at bat is over. It's like a change-up grip, and it's low. I say you send him, Bob.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you, even with the slide step, I think it's worth the risk to be overly aggressive on the bases today. Prove that, make AJ Pierzynski prove he can throw out your better base stealers at second base.
He is running, and a base hit into center. Terrio on the way to third. First and third, no outs. Two more hits for Bradley today. He's gotten on all 3 times.
Well, the difference is he's hit the ball crisply today. That's an inside part of the plate fastball. Drops a bat head on it, lines it out there toward the gap in right center field. He's been getting his hits lately, but he'd be the first to admit he's not really hitting the ball as hard as he would like. Much better at bats today, hitting the ball much harder.
The White Sox will concede the tie on that ground ball as they try to turn 2. They get 1, but that's it. And Derek will get an RBI as Terrio scores. It's 1-1.
Probably not the pitch Derek Lee was looking for in that situation. Fastball outside part of the plate, but hits a little squibber to second base. Fortunately gets out of the box well enough. He's able to leg it out. Ryan Terrio scores the tying run.
So back to even, each team with a run in the 6th. Fouled back by Soto. Left-hander Jimmy Gobble is loosening. Lee the runner at first. The pitch to Soto. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and two now. Gavin Floyd led the White Sox staff with 17 wins last year.
And look at that hole on the right side of the infield. Getz playing way up the middle. Konerko holding on Derek Lee.
6, 4, 3 at double play. It's the third one they've turned today. The Lee fielder's choice, however, leading to the tying run. It's 1-1 to the 7th.
We want peace and love, so we're going with the OJ's Love Train. And also a happy belated birthday to Eddie Laverta, the OJ, celebrated his 67th on Tuesday. That's today's Bud Light Fan Cam with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability.
A 1-1 tie in the 7th. Starters still in there. 2-0 on rookie third baseman Gordon Beckham. Coach Q coming up with our stretch. Joel Quenneville of the Chicago Blackhawks. 2-1 on the way, hit foul upstairs, 2-2 the count on Beckham, who has gotten on both times, hit by a pitch and a single. The pitcher Floyd is on deck. He may or may not take the at bat. They have double barrel action in their bullpen. TJ Carrasco and Aaron Pareda. Too high, it's full. 3-2. Zambrano has not been as efficient as Floyd. He is over 100 pitches on the day, and he just walked the leadoff man, and Floyd is headed to the plate in a tie. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Floyd pushing a bunt to Derek Lee, who lets it roll foul. These are tough decisions for especially an American League manager in an NL park. But Bob, I think that number one, there's a runner on, so you try to get the bunt down, and Floyd did that in the 5th inning. And also, Gavin, Floyd's only thrown 76 pitches. He still looks strong on the mound, even though he did give up that 6th inning run.
Yeah, this could be a lot tougher decision if Floyd wasn't throwing the ball the way he has up to this point.
Well, Floyd doing an excellent job with the bunts today. That's the second one.
Textbook.
Aaron Heilman is up in the Cubs bullpen. Indiana native, grew up rooting for the Northsiders. He's taking part in his first Crosstown series this week. Posednik actually moved up in the batter's box as that pitch was being delivered, which makes you wonder if he was going to try to push a bunt somewhere.
I saw him do that on a couple of pitches in the ball game last night as well.
Did it again. And he hits a fly ball, foul ground in the bullpen. Soriano, did he catch it? He did. Nicely done by Soriano for the second out. He was stumbling around out there trying to get through that bullpen mound, and a big second out.
Cubs relief pitcher Aaron Heilman very nearly got in Soriano's way down there. He's just standing oblivious to the play, just sidesteps at the last moment. That's a great play by Soriano. That's one of the toughest plays a corner outfielder will have to make here at Wrigley. Maneuvering over those bullpen mounds, you've got a brick wall to deal with right there. Security guards, relief pitchers, bullpen coaches, and he still makes the play.
So it's Ramirez with 2 outs. And Beckham still at second. You can't do it much better than Soriano just did. Fly ball deep. Soriano on the warning track, and Ramirez has done it for the second straight day. He has 2 go-ahead home runs in this series. It's 3-1.
Talked about the similarities between Ramirez and Soriano. Both hit breaking ball strikes extremely well. That was a slider right in the middle of the plate, middle of the thighs. Ramirez with that wiry frame, it's every bit of it.
Die the other way. Bradley will get it. Here comes Joel Quenneville with our stretch.
His guest conductor for the 7th inning stretch is Chicago Blackhawks head coach Joel Quenneville.
The Blackhawks would like to thank all baseball fans for your tremendous support this past season. I need lots of help here, so please join me. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so just root for. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball
On a homer, his second blast of the series, and the White Sox have their second lead of the day, 3-1, bottom of the 7th. Chicago Blackhawks head coach Joe Quenneville in the booth with us for the bottom of the 7th. Coach, first of all, congratulations on a fantastic 08-09 season. I know you didn't get to the ultimate goal, but so much excitement, and you gave Detroit everything they could handle. And when Huey made that save going into overtime, I really thought you guys were coming home for Game 6.
I really did too. When Kaner scored that goal there, what a great shot, and then Huey makes that save in the dying seconds. I thought, we deserved at least a chance to come back. I thought we played well in Game 5, had a chance. Detroit's a good team at Joe Louis, and we played them 2 overtime games in the lead in the third, or tied in the third. So I thought we fared well against them, but certainly they're the tough team, but there's a lot of good things that came out of our season, and I think we should be proud of accomplishing a lot of good things.
Beckham ranging to his left, and he'll throw out Mike Fontenot. Coach, it's time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. We don't mind showing the weather here because it's actually in the 70s today, and it wasn't bad. Temperatures in the low 30s for the Winter Classic here at Wrigley Field on New Year's Day.
What a day. What a game. That was such a fun thing to be a part of. Everybody had a blast. I don't know about throwing out the pitch, but I was nerve-wracking getting out on that mound. But we had the practice the day before brought us back to the days when we were kids and growing up on the outdoor rinks, and everybody had a great time with it. Your family members came in, and I think they got a little cold out here, but the whole venue, the whole setup, the league, players, everybody raved about it, and John McDonough and whole organization should be proud of putting on a great show, and that was fun to be a part of.
I took the train here with my sister. We got off right over Sheffield and Addison, and all the NHL team flags were around the top of the ballpark. It really did feel like an NHL event in this great baseball venue.
Oh, it's great. We're walking by home plate when you're walking out, when they're introducing the players, and it was just a great setup. Being in the dugout before the game there, and it was an important game at the time there. I know we closed our gap with Detroit there. We were almost fighting for first place with them, so it was an important game as well.
Bouncer to the mound. Fukudome is out. 2 gone in the inning.
So what about next year, Coach? I assume you're excited to get started again?
Yeah, we really are. I think that we really created a nice appetite to shoot for next year. We talked to our team there right after we lost to Detroit. You just can't expect to get as far as we did next year automatically. There's a lot of lessons that we got to learn from how things ended up and what we accomplished. But we've got a young team. We should improve in a lot of ways, in a lot of areas, and we like the depth of our team. But I think that playoff experience can really help us as we go into next year.
Outside on Andres Blanco, 1 ball, no strikes. We're on the Cubs' second baseman. 3-1 White Sox were in the bottom of the 7th. Joe Quenneville, the Blackhawks head coach, in the booth with us. Michael Hoffpower on deck. He would bat for Carlos Zambrano if the inning continues. Are your ears still ringing from the atmosphere at the United Center during the playoffs?
Oh, it was amazing. The noise level right from the outset there from the national anthem throughout the game. The game 6 against Vancouver was the one game that was amazing. Scoring 5 in the 3rd period and winning that series on that note was probably the biggest memory we have with the United Center over the course of the season. But the fans were great this year. The support tremendous. And the noise factor being back, and that sign that says the Roar is back in Chicago, it really says a lot because it's there. And players, I could see it being a real destination for players going forward, and even the visiting teams that want to come and play in Chicago and be a part of it.
And I'm sure one of the messages you'll have for your team going into training camp is they're going to be gunning for us now, right? I mean, every team you play now, they're going to treat you guys like you're the Red Wings because of the success you had.
Yep, yeah, and you're right. And the Western Conference is so competitive, and it's so close. Every game's going to be huge. But I agree with you that teams are going to be aware of key guys on our team, and they're not going to underestimate our club. But I think that's the challenge going forward, and I think that be it playing teams like Detroit in the playoffs, that that every game's important, every shift is vital to the outcome, that we can use that next year because we're going to have to.
Full count on Blanco. If he can get on, he'll set up the tying run at the plate. And if it's Hoffpower, Ozzie does have a left-hander ready in his bullpen. And it's Matt Thornton who now has gotten up. So all three lefties have been up. Nice backhanded stab by Paul Konerko. Coach Q, thanks so much for a great season. Enjoy your summer. And right back at it here in a couple of months.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
And Blackhawks hockey coming up on WGN.
Carlos Zambrano continuing the streak of great starting pitching that the Cubs have received lately. Went 7 strong innings, gave up 6 base hits. Unfortunately, one of those hits, a 2-run homer off the bat of Alexei Ramirez. Our AM/PM player of the game, Carlos Zambrano. Too much good stuff.
Carlos Marmol in to face Konerko, Przynski, and Anderson in the 8th, thanks to Joel Quenneville. What a nice guy. First time I've met Coach Q and heard such great things about him. Again, Blackhawks hockey coming up on WGN.
I tried to put a twist on it, Len. I know he's shaken a lot of hands and been congratulated a lot. I said, let me be the first to congratulate you on winning it all next year.
And the television play-by-play voice of the Blackhawks, Pat Foley, is in the ballpark today. Talked to Pat about an hour before the first pitch. And I said, I figured you'd either be on the golf course or enjoying a beverage here at the ballpark. He said, I just got off the course and I'm doing the second part of that equation right now.
He's very predictable.
Yeah. One and two on Konerko. The pitch by Marmol. And that's lined the other way for a base hit. I want to acknowledge Lieutenant John Joyce of the Chicago Fire Department, celebrating 23 years in the department. We want to send out best wishes to all the firefighters watching the game today. Right across the street from Engine Company 78, which is on Waveland. Konerko read the play perfectly, and that didn't get too far away from Soto, but that's all it took.
Well, we know with Marmol's erratic control that he's been all over the strike zone and out of the strike zone this year. That was a ball that just trickled out of the webbing of Giovanni Soto's mitt. You see, he sets up on the outside corner. The pitch is thrown down and into the left-handed hitting Przynski, and that will be ruled a pass ball on Soto.
His second of the year. Fontenot taking a look. It's 2 rows back. If you'd like to contact us via email, please do so at lenandbob@chicagonow.com.
I tell you, Len, I speak from experience. That's a tough pass ball for Giovanni Soto. You could clearly see he was set up on the other side of the plate, expecting a fastball to be moving away from the left-handed hitter Przinsky, and Marmol jerked it back to the inside of the plate in the mid-90s. That's tough to react that quickly when you miss all the way across the plate.
Przinsky grounding out. As he hit that ball and was running down the first baseline, he was looking in the White Sox dugout. I don't know if he was looking at his manager saying, see, I moved the runner up or what. Maybe it was Jermaine Dye. Who knows? He was looking at somebody as he ran down the line.
I'm not sure what's going on over there in his own dugout, but that's a smart offensive play. That's what the situation called for. Hit a ball on the ground to the right side, or a fly ball deep enough to center or right field to get Konerko to third base with one out in the inning.
The infield will have to come in. Big day for Anderson. Go ahead RBI single, 2 for 2 with a walk. He was caught stealing in the fourth inning.
White Sox did successfully put down a suicide squeeze bunt in the ball game yesterday. I think the element of surprise is kind of gone from that play.
That's a strike on a front door slider. 2-1. Big Cub fans, Tim Dillman, his wife Nicole, they welcomed the newest Cub fan into the world, Brendan Michael, in about the second inning. Congrats to the Dillmans. It's 3-1 on Anderson with Getz on deck. Cubs infield in right at the edge of the grass. Konerko the runner at third. Anderson was late on that swing. Waited back for a slider. Couldn't get it. 3-2. Scott Linebrink is up. One scoreless inning yesterday. Popped him up near first. And Lee in foul ground for out number 2. Infielders can move back except for Fontenot at third with 2 outs. Here's a pitch outside.
I'd like to see Marmol get out of this inning before we get down to that pitcher spot, but just in case, Sean Marshall's begun to throw.
Getz turns on another one. It's the third time in the series he's deposited an extra base hit into the corner and right. That's an RBI double, scoring Konerko, and it's 4-1, which was yesterday's final score.
Fastball up and out over the plate this time for Getz. Each successive ball hit down in that right field corner. He's hit a little bit harder. I mentioned yesterday he broke his bat on his triple. Little soft liner down into the corner earlier in the game, and this time a crisp line drive into the right field corner.
You know what the White Sox have gotten today, Bob? They've gotten production out of those spots that were extremely productive for the Cubs last year. 6, 7, 8.
Like Soto got bitten on the right foot with that foul tip off the bat of Beckham.
Beckham inside out, sit the other way. They're going to try to get another one. Gets to the plate. The throw there is late. 5-1. Beckham's been on all 4 times today.
Well, and it's a little bit shocking. I'm sure it's shocking for Carlos Marmol. We've documented throughout this year that he usually doesn't get hit very hard. The problems that he's run into have been base on balls and hit batsmen, but the White Sox, with 3 crisply hit balls in this inning, have already plated 2 runs, and Lou's going to go to the lefty to face Jim Thome.
Yeah, 14 hits over his first 30 and a third innings, but today 3 hits and recording just 2 outs. So left-hander Sean Marshall will come in. It's 5-1 White Sox. Pinch hitter Josh Fields. We saw Jim Thome in the on-deck circle. We're trying to find out if he was officially announced, and that's significant, because if he was announced, he now can't be used later.
And if he was not announced, by going to the left-handed pitcher, you get the matchup that Ozzie and the White Sox are looking for: left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter, and you still have Thome available.
That's low, ball 1. 2 in against Marmol. Beckham is at second. He was credited with a single, went to second on the throw to the plate. So Jim Thome was announced. And then taken down for Josh Fields.
That's good.
Moved his hands but caught the zone. 2-1. Three and 1. 40,467. Very close to yesterday's attendance of 40,444. 23 more fans squeezed into the yard today.
I thought it looked like there was about 20 or 22 or 23 more people in here today.
You were off by a couple, maybe at the most. Your estimation as Fields walks. Pasednik's 0 for 4 the last time up. With a foul ball down the line into the Cubs bullpen, and Alfonso Soriano with a great catch. Unfortunately, the next batter hit a 2-run homer. Marshall couldn't get it. Going to be a tough play, but they get the out as Blanco throws to first to just get Pasednik. They add to their lead. It's 5-1.
Trail by 4 heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Micah Hoffpower will lead it off, pinch hitting for the pitcher spot, followed by Alfonso Soriano, Ryan Theriot, and hopefully others.
Against right-hander Scott Linebrink. Gavin Floyd, 7 innings, 4 hits, just 1 run allowed. In terms of what you see from the other teams' starting pitchers who've been pretty good lately, I mean, the trend has been the Cubs haven't been hitting really anyone. It seems like every day we sit here and we go, oh, what a start by pitcher X. We say that a lot about the Cubs starting pitchers as well. But it's like the same movie gets repeated over and over again at the plate for this team.
Well, and the little things that we talk about all the time, and at times we beat a dead horse, but even if you look back to that 8th inning by the White Sox after the Konerko single, the pass ball moved him up to second base, and then A.J. Pierzynski hits a 99 hop ground ball to the second baseman to move him to third and set it up for the guys behind him in the order. Turned into a 2-run inning. I mean, the Cubs haven't had a boatload of opportunities to score runs recently, but when they have had those opportunities, they've just had some very undisciplined at bats. I talked about it in the past too, the tunnel vision that you tend to get in as an individual player when things aren't going well. In the 0 for start mounting, and the runners left in scoring position start to climb, and your focus gets narrower and narrower until all you can concentrate on is your own at bats. When in reality, if you could widen your focus a little bit and try to realize, what does the team need me to do?
When handcuff gets So the leadoff man is aboard.
Look at the big picture. What's the situation call for? Where's the defense playing me? How have they been pitching me in this game? And instead of continually going up there and trying to do the miraculous, do the simple thing. Hit a ground ball to the right side if that's what the team needs. Get a pitch up in the zone. Try to hit a fly ball if that's what the team needs. I mean, you can't manufacture a rallying home run. Home runs are going to happen when they're supposed to happen. You can't make them happen. And it looks to me like a lot of guys in the blue shirts are trying to make big things happen.
Gets charged with an error, allowing Hoffpower to reach. 1 strike to Soriano.
Once again, look at the right side of the infield. Now, granted, Soriano doesn't hit many ground balls, period, and he rarely hits a ground ball to the right side. But the percentages of having something good happen, hitting a ground ball to the right side right now, are much higher than trying to pull a ball through the left side of the infield.
He has swung through a couple of mid-90s fastballs, and he's going to get a healthy dose of sliders here the rest of this at bat. He might not see another pitch in the strike zone. Pretty close. He took it. 2-2.
Change up on the outside corner might have dipped just below the knees. Tough take right there.
Left center. Hoffpower not going to take any chances with his team down 4. 2 on, no outs. Maybe the best chance here over the last couple of innings because of where the lineup is. With Ryan Theriot coming up and then Bradley and Lee to follow. Don Cooper will interrupt the proceedings here as he's going to head out to the mound.
You know, Len, I've talked many times in the past about the 1984 Cubs team and how they were some of the best situational hitters I ever played against in my career. Yeah, I mean, we had Keith Moreland on that team and Jody Davis and Ryan Sandberg and Bobby Dernier, and those guys would take advantage of an overshifted defense, of a first baseman holding a runner on first base. I remember seeing Jody Davis hit dribblers to that right side that would get into the outfield grass and die. But the end result was a first and third situation for the guy hitting behind him in the order. You don't always have to hit the ball in the bleachers to be a hero. Set it up for the guy behind you. Let him be a hero today. I'll take my turn tomorrow.
Now keep that line moving. That's what Theriot is trying to do as the White Sox set up in double play depth around their infield. Swing and a miss. In general, Bob, I mean, this is something we saw from the 06 Cubs a lot. They're not striking out today. Only 2 strikeouts against the starter Floyd. Does it appear to you as we're seeing a lot of early swings to avoid the strikeouts we saw over the weekend against the Twins? And what has resulted at times is bad contact.
Yeah, bad contact at pitcher strikes. I think part of that is because you didn't want to get to a 2-strike count against Glavin Floyd. But also aggressive hitting. Yeah, I understand you want to hit early in the count. That's when you're more likely to get fastballs for strikes. But it still has to be a pitch that you're looking to hit. A fastball on the outside corner at the knees is probably not a pitch that you want to attack on the first pitch of a sequence, or if you're 1-0 in the sequence.
Well, what happens when you're not making really good contact with a baseball, really squaring them up, and you're not getting into deep counts, you're not even giving yourself a chance to get a free base. The Cubs with 3 walks today. They had none yesterday.
And Lou pointed out that out in his pregame press conference today, that the Cubs led the world last year in base on balls, and that set up some opportunities for other guys in the lineup. It allowed you to get into the middle relief of the opposing team a lot earlier in the ball game, get that tough starter out of the ball game. There's a lot of good things happen, but once again, you can't just go up and make walks happen. You have to be disciplined. You have to be ready to hit strikes, but willing to take pitches that you know you can't handle and hit hard.
A pretty big one coming up here. 3-2, 2 on, no outs. As the Cubs try to get back in it. Down 4 in the 8th. Here it is. We'll do it again.
I'll tell you one thing I do know for sure, Len. It's a lot easier to talk about hitting than it is to hit. It's one of the toughest things there is to do in professional sports. It's not easy under any circumstances.
Another 3-2 and another pop-up. This one's going to be on the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect. Gets the grab. And 1 out for Bradley. Bradley appeared to take, I mean, he always takes cuts from both sides before his at-bats in the on-deck circle. He took maybe a couple of more righty just in case the White Sox had decided to go with Thornton, the lefty. But they're going to stick with Linebrink for now. And the pitch. That's high. Two and 0.
Now, even though Milton Bradley started to heat it up from the left side of the plate, I still think most teams would prefer to have him at the plate as a lefty as opposed to a right-handed hitter.
Called strike. 2-1. Lee on deck. This is the kind of at bat we're talking about. Bradley has gotten himself into a 3-1 situation. You can look for one pitch. Swings away at it. 3-2. Off power reached on an error by Getz. He's committed 2 of them today, even though he made a great play in the 4th. Soriano with a single, and then Bradley strikes out. And it'll look like a changeup from Scott Linebrink.
Now, Linebrink's had a real good changeup in the ball game today. You may remember earlier the at bat against Alfonso Soriano when he just missed low and away with a changeup, comes right back to that same location, which for Bradley is down and in, and he swung right over the top of it.
Lee's hitting streak at 14 on the line. And that's deep to right. Dye going back at the wall, into the basket. They're only down 1 as Lee just hit a 3-run homer. It's a 5-4 game.
All right, Derek got a fastball up and out over the plate, absolutely crushed it to the opposite field. The wind that had been blowing hard earlier in the game has died down. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 368 feet into the basket in right field.
A strike to Soto, 5-4 White Sox. Hit streak at 15. That's a big blast by Lee. Cubs are right back in it. Coming with 2 outs here in the 8th. So Soto, the tying run at the plate. He sends a fly ball deep to left center. And we're tied! Back to back for the Cubs. It's 5-5. Just like that, they come all the way back with 4 big ones on 2 big swings.
Boy, Giovanni Soto, lightning quick fastball inside part of the plate, got it up in the air. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? This time, 379 feet to left center field.
They love it in the dugout. They're going crazy here at Wrigley Field. It's a new ball game as Matt Thornton is in. Linebrink is out. We'll be right back. And they're all unearned because of the Getz error to start the inning. This is more like it.
Yes, indeed.
There's a hard-throwing lefty, Matt Thornton, against Jake Fox, who will hit for Fontenot. A major offensive uprising for the Cubs here in this inning. 0-2 on Fox. Fox is 5 out of 7 in the pinch. Kevin Gregg, the Cubs closer. Lou could use Aaron Miles to play third. He could leave Fox in the game. And if he makes a final out of this inning, he could end up putting the pitcher's spot there. 97 from Thornton. Bob, there aren't too many left-handers in the game today who throw that hard.
Well, Thornton, we mentioned it yesterday, one of the best left-handed setup men in all of baseball. Easy gas in the high 90s.
Jake has gotten right back in it. 3-2 after an 0-2 start. Here it comes. High in the air. He just got under it. Anderson will have plenty of room. Well, the Cubs were down to their final out in the 8th when Derek Lee came up and went the other way for a 3-run homer to pull the Cubs within 1. Giovanni Soto followed that up with a game-tying shot. 5-5 to the 9th. Do the pitching, and tough way to start it. Alexei Ramirez, who's come up with 2 big home runs already in the series. We're tied at 5-5. Slider low and away. Derek Lee, 3-run shot. Giovanni Soto tied it up as they went back to back. Bunted foul by Ramirez.
Because of the weather conditions and a lack of save opportunities, Kevin Gregg hasn't pitched since the 13th against the Twins. Most of the time, your closers and setup guys down there in that bullpen are used to a certain amount of a workload, 3, maybe 4 or 5 days a week. It's been 5 days since he last pitched.
Bobby Jenks up for the White Sox. Miles will hit 9th, so he'll bat 3rd in the bottom of this inning. Ground ball. Gregg can't get it. Blanco does, but no throw, and Ramirez aboard to start the inning. He has 10 steals in 12 attempts.
Kevin Gregg not in real good fielding position out there, as his back turned toward home plate, tried to make that behind the back play. Blanco leaves his feet, makes a nice diving catch, but no chance to get Ramirez at first base.
I don't know a lot, Bob, but I don't think Jermaine Dye is thinking sacrifice bunt.
Probably not.
It has been 8 years since he last laid down a sac bunt. – 2001. And for that reason, Aaron Miles can play back at 3rd.
Although sometimes guys will take it upon themselves to put down a bunt if they don't feel like they're swinging the bat particularly well, maybe having a tough day seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand. Maybe the opposing pitcher's a tough matchup.
Double play ball. Terrio to Blanco. Past Lee. They don't turn it. But the ball may have just grazed Harold Baines, the first base coach. Just a little discombobulated to start it. Terrio had trouble getting it to Blanco, who had Ramirez breathing down his neck. And they only get one.
Yeah, if you get it to Andres Blanco in good shape, he will turn that double play. The Riot had to back up a step or two, then he had trouble finding the handle, and that in turn caused Blanco to lose his rhythm on the play, and he couldn't find the handle. Boy, with Jermaine Dye running, that's a double play you'd love to turn right there.
And like yesterday, Ozzie takes Dye out late in the game and uses Dwayne Wise as a pinch runner. Dye bothered by a sore left calf. This is a tough matchup for Kevin Gregg against Paul Konerko. 7 for 9 with a home run. Ooh, ouch. Well, maybe Kevin's looked at a lot of video at the 2 times he got him out. Pitch outside.
We talked about it earlier in the ball game with Gavin Floyd and Kevin Gregg in a similar situation here. His attention is a little diverted between Wise over there at first base and Konerko at the plate, using that slide step, trying to unload the ball quickly and give Soto a chance if Wise decides to run.
Caught the corner on a fastball, 1-2.
Tailing action on that fastball did work its way back to the corner for a called strike.
Bradley coming on. So 2 outs. And it brings up Brzezinski. Intentionally walked Brzezinski with a base open in the 6th. Brian Anderson followed up by knocking in the first run of the game. Wise runs. It's bounced to Lee. That's fair. And he'll step on first. Brzezinski never did run toward first. And the Cubs with a chance for their second walk-off win on the homestand. 5-5. after getting 4 to tie it. And with Thornton still in there, we'll get a pinch hitter. For Fukudome, it'll be Reed Johnson. Ball one. Dwayne Wise needs some shades. One on Johnson. Starters dominated early on. First run came in the 6th inning. We've seen 10 runs since the 6th. Johnson with a base hit into center. Anderson was playing deep. He comes in and keeps Johnson to a single.
Good start.
And now Blanco, who normally bats lefty, is going to go to the right side to try to lay down a bunt.
In a short time here, this is his 13th game of the season. He's already put down 4 sacrifice bunts. I think he's had 1 attempt where he wasn't able to get the bunt down, but for the most part, he's been pretty good.
Andres had basically given up batting right-handed earlier this year when he came up to the big leagues, but we've seen him go to the right side to lay down a bunt, and that's the situation here. First, Thornton throws to first base.
And the bunt should go to the first base side of the field, ideally past Thornton, force Paul Konerko to come in and make the play, and ideally the only out the White Sox will be able to get is at first base.
He pushes it. Thornton off the mound. Throw to first. Covered by Getz. 2 cracks at winning it now.
A good job there by Andres Blanco. That's the toughest time to put down a sacrifice bunt, when everybody in the ballpark knows that's what you're going to do. Able to deaden that ball on the right side. Thornton's only play was on to first base for the out. Got it out near the end of the bat. That will deaden the ball somewhat. It also got into that high infield grass and just died. The only play at first.
Switch hitter Aaron Miles with his first at bat. He just came in to play third in the top of the inning. Soriano on deck. Winning run at second. It's Reed Johnson. Pulled foul.
Get him on, get him over, get him in. We've got 2 of the 3 out of the way.
Brief tenure with the big league Sox back in 03 to start Aaron Miles' major league career. He went 4 for 12 with 3 doubles. He's been with the Rockies, the Cardinals, and now the Cubs since. Ground ball in the hole. Ramirez gets it. Looked like Beckham wanted that ball, but then gave up on it and allowed Ramirez to take it. And Beckham then went right to third base, but Johnson stayed at second.
Broken bat roller to the left side here. As you mentioned, Beckham starts over. Looks like he's going to make the play. I'll tell you, that was a pretty heads-up play by Beckham, because if he continues on and makes that play to his left, Reed Johnson goes from second base to third base. Once that third baseman evacuates over there, the runner from second to third can run right past him to the bag at third base. Beckham gave up on it, went back to his position. Reed Johnson had to hold at second base, and Ramirez made a nice play to throw across for the out.
Ozzie came out to talk to Thornton with Soriano up. First base is open. I'd be shocked if they intentionally walk Soriano with the way he's been swinging the bat. They may just try to get him to chase something. Here we go. Almost hit him. Ball one. One hit in the series. That was in the 8th. 3 batters ahead of Derek Lee's home run. Dribbled foul.
When we think about the styles of hitters, Alfonso Soriano is a guy that's more likely to swing and miss, as opposed to Ryan Theriot, a guy who is more likely to make contact. Ozzie Guillen probably figuring that if Thornton executes his pitches, especially that high fastball up above the top of the strike zone, they may get a swing and a miss from Soriano. But if they walk him intentionally, Theriot is more likely to make contact.
And Thornton is a huge strikeout pitcher, even though he doesn't have one in his outing today. Kick and the 2-2. Little floater. It's going to drop down, and the Cubs are going to win. Reed Johnson scores. Cubs come all the way back and win it 6-5. So Soriano battling down in the count, and he gets it done, and they earn the split.